Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, Jason in the Woods. Today we're heading out on another overnight backpacking trip. I'm heading out to do the Council Bluff Lake Loop. I'm going to add in a little bit of mileage there. I've got about a 4-mile hike into the lake from the southern DD trailhead, and then later today, I'll be hiking up Johnson Mountain, and that's where I'll be making camp before I hike back down Johnson Mountain and then finish the rest of the loop around the lake. So very excited. It's December 29th, so this is my New Year's Eve last backpacking trip of the year. Literally has to be, because there are no more days. I'll be coming back home tomorrow on Sunday the 31st, or sorry, today's the 30th, and then I'm coming home on the 31st, and then I will be celebrating New Year's at home with Nicole and some friends. But yeah, it's exciting. I've not been to Council Bluff Lake, so I'm excited to try out a new hike, and it looks like it's going to be pretty mild as far as elevation goes, and then I'll be obviously next to water the whole time, so no worries there. I'm trying out some new gear, so I'm excited to go over that with you. I'm doing the tarp setup again on the ground, just to try out some new stuff there, and it looks like the temperatures are forecasted to get down to around 30 degrees. I brought my 20-degree quilt, so should be fine there. I've got plenty of other layers to pile on top of that if I get too cold at all. So yeah, I'm just really excited to get back out. It looks like it's going to be about a 22-mile hike overall. It'll be about 11 miles today and 11 miles tomorrow. So it's cool because I've got about the lightest pack that I've ever packed here, and it came out with water around right at 20 pounds. So very excited. I'm going to be able to knock out this 11 miles, no problem. I'll let you know for sure on the trail though. Yeah, a little fun fact about Council Bluff Lake. It's there's a ghost town called Enough underneath the lake. I think it's a man-made lake, and Enough got its name because when it was applying for names with its post office, it kept trying to apply for other names that were already in use in Missouri, and eventually the authority that be named them Enough because they had had enough of trying to give them a name. I'm about to get saddled up and get on this hike. Ran into a couple of guys here that have done the lake loop, and they said that I'm in for a treat, so I'm very excited. They're heading south, so we won't be hiking together, but it'll be fun. So I'm heading north from the southern DD trailhead, and we're just following a section of the Ozarks Trail here until it breaks off at the to go towards the Council Bluff Lake. I got myself a nice little half-mile jog in, got the blood pumping. Before I got too hot, went ahead and slowed down the pace, and made myself my first electrolyte drink, and just started getting hydrated again. Not that I'm dehydrated, but making sure to stay hydrated. This is beautiful right now, absolutely gorgeous. It's about 45 degrees. All I'm in right now is I've got this synthetic long sleeve. It's a quarter zip, and I'm venting right now just because I got a little warm from that jog. But I've got that in my REI Sahara pants. I was gonna wear my insulated pants, but I only have about 4 hours of daylight left, and I'm really trying to knock out 11 miles. So I've got a good pace going right now, and I think those pants I would have overheated pretty quickly and just been sweating, and that would not have turned out well tonight. And I know I've got plenty of insulation tonight to make it through the night with lows of 30. I'm ready to get into around 20, maybe even a little bit lower, considering I've got all my clothing layers that I can use as well. Yeah, so one of the first things, I guess, and the most obvious thing that's different about this trip is I'm rocking a frameless pack. I wanted to kind of dip my toe in the frameless pack world, just because I've been able to get my gear weight down. In fact, fully loaded, this pack was 20 pounds out the door, so it's the lightest I've ever had it. But part of that was not using my REI Trail 40. This is actually just a pack from 3FUL gear, and I got it on AliExpress, and it was about 60 bucks or so. And so far I'm actually really enjoying it. I've got my Gossamer Gear 1/8" foam pad stuffed in the back as a little bit of a little rigidity added into the back there, and that really gave it enough structure to where I don't feel any lumps. And then that with the load lifters and everything, I've gotten everything really cinched into my body, so it's riding very comfortably. The other thing is I've got this new fanny pack, this new Red Paw Packs fanny pack, and this thing's awesome. It's a waterproof pack. It's got, as you can see, a little neoprene sleeve to put a water bottle in on the top of it, and that's really cool for doing little day hikes and stuff. I can just keep a water bottle in that, and even if I wanted to, if I needed more than that and I had water sources, I could bring my filter inside the fanny pack along with whatever snacks and stuff I would want for the day. But yeah, I'm really enjoying that, and it moves a little bit of that water weight off of my shoulders and directly onto my hips. So very excited right now. Everything is working out really well just in the first mile, so we've still got about 10 to go today. So hopefully the stitching on the pack and everything holds up. It all looks pretty decent, even for it being a $60 pack. But this is really just kind of a gateway pack into seeing if I'm ready to invest a little bit more. I'm thinking maybe something like the Z packs. It's like they've got like a 35. I think they call it like a Nero or something like that. But we'll see. They're a little bit more pricey. I've been also looking at some Durston packs. But anyways, I'm gonna quit chatting and turn on the afterburners and get some hiking in. Let's do this. This is where Trace Creek section goes off this way. The Middle Fork section continues on back where I was going or coming from. And we're gonna continue up here, heading kind of northwest-ish. And we're gonna meet the southern part of the Council Bluff Lake Loop, and then head east from there. Alright, double markers meets another trailhead. So off to the left here is the continuation of the Ozarks Trail section, the Trace Creek. This is the spur to Council Bluff Lake. It's another half mile of this, and then I'll be breaking east at the loop, and I should see the lake pretty soon after that. And I have really loved crossing the creek so many times. It's really nice. The water's pretty low, so I've been able to stay dry. Let's see if we've got it on this one. I think I see a path here. I'll say these trekking poles make crossing dry a much easier task. Ooh, maybe should have done that one with the phone down, but we made it. I think where we're at right now, I've been seeing signs like horses prohibited. I think it's just foot traffic. Not sure if they even allow bikes back here. Looks like we may be coming up on the lake here. Seeing some kind of a railing or something. Bridge. A creek crossing. I think this is my right-hand turn. Right here. Let's do it. I think that little lower section of blue is water. It is. Should have a good little bit of overview of it here in just a second. Water crossing. This might actually be hard to stay dry. There it is. Oh, beautiful. Just beautiful. I just walked out to this little point out here, and there's actually a little established campsite, a little fire pit and everything. Made me really think long and hard about stopping the day here and just wrapping up with the lake tomorrow instead of trying to get to the top of Johnson Mountain. I think that is where I'm headed. I'll have to double check the map, but I'm pretty sure that's that. So we'll see. I'm only about 5 miles in. Sun's starting to already get low, and it's only about 2:15 or so, but that means it's going to be down around 4 o'clock. I'm only like 5 1/4 miles in for the day, and I was planning on a little over 11. There's more spots on the other side of the lake that I can camp at, even if I don't go all the way up to Johnson Mountain. So I think I'm just gonna keep pressing on, and once it's threatening to get dark on me, I'll just set up camp. Walking along and across this sign here, the Enough Savannah. You can kind of, I'm not gonna go too far. You can kind of see what it's talking about here. We're coming up right at the limits of the old town of Enough now. Online, I've seen some building remnants, and I've heard that even in the lake, you at least used to be able to see chimneys and stuff of the houses that are now underwater. Coming across another recreational area here. Let's see here. Yeah, it looks like, at least right here, there's no overnight camping. It's a bit of just a trail access, and looks like some fishing access. I wonder if this might also be where, I know there's a boat ramp. I'm not sure if this is it or not. I'm gonna keep on moving. It would be a nice spot to take a break if I had time for a break. See the lake again. I think the trail might be over this way anyways, but gorgeous, right? Beautiful nature. All right, it's about 3:20 right now. I'm about just over 3 hours since I left the truck, and about coming up on 9.5 miles into the trail here. So I've definitely been making really good time, but I just don't know that the graphic that I found is accurate as far as it being 11 miles to the top of Johnson Mountain. I think it's going to be closer to 11 miles to the bottom, and that's okay. I don't need to finish that whole thing I'm still gonna be able to complete the lake loop, but I'm basically just thinking by 4 o'clock, I'm gonna walk in from the lake 300 feet and find a flat spot and set up camp. And that'll be that. I don't think I'm gonna quite make it all the way up to the top of Johnson Mountain. But it has been beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I just want to make sure that we're safe and have everything established, and I'll at least still be near a water source and all that, which will be nice. But the temps are already dropping with the sun coming down, and it's gonna get cold. All right, it's about 3:45, and I got the lake here behind me. I think I'm gonna end up camping back down this way off the trail. The trail's continuing this way here, and would then wrap up the lake up the other side there. But I'm at 10.5 miles in right now. I'm just about at the base of the trail up Johnson Mountain, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go ahead and find a nice open flat spot for my tarp over here, and that way I've got a level walk to and from the water to water up and everything. And probably call it after that. I need to make some dinner. I'm starving. I've been munching on my Peachos. I need some food. I'm ready for the meal that I brought. So very excited to call it a night. I think I see a sign over here. Uh-oh. So I almost stopped a little ways back and dang near turned right into a fence. And that kept me rolling there. What does this say? This trail not authorized for public use. Which means we're not gonna go down that way. Thank you, U.S. Forest Service. All right. Well, I know where my flashlight's at if I need it. We'll be fine. Just gonna keep moving. Just call it at the base of that other Johnson Mountain Trail then. All right. Hopefully I can get this tarp set up before it gets dark. Pressed for time on finding a campsite before it gets dark and cold, but I can't help but appreciate how beautiful it is out here. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so 11.1 miles in. I've just reached this. This is the spur trail up Johnson Mountain. I'm gonna go ahead and just fill my knock bag up with some water. So I'm down to my last like half liter here, and then I'm just gonna head up the trail. I'm pretty confident that I'll be able to find a spot to set my tarp up the trail just a little bit, but I'm very excited to be here. I didn't think that I was going to make it all the way around to this point. I think we started out, let me see if I can I'm pretty sure we started out right around there, so that's pretty incredible. We Excited. Tomorrow we'll be hitting, there's a bridge just about this way behind me, and it just looks like a cool bridge with a view, so excited to do that. But yeah, let's get some water, and I'm just gonna camel it up the trail here, and we'll set up as quick as we can. I'm starting to lose daylight bad. That sun is not gonna stay over the hill for very long. I'm gonna be racing it. Let's do it. Got probably 2.5 liters of water back there, so yay, extra weight. Heading up this trail. Let's hopefully find a spot quickly. I'd be fine with stopping right at the 300 feet mark. We'll see. Easily well over the 300 foot rule, and I've just got a little clearing that I've decided I'm going to set up in over here. It's not perfectly level, but it's mostly level, and that's going to be good enough for me because I need to get this tarp up, get my sleeping stuff set up, and then I get some food in me because I'm hungry. I've got 11.3 miles under the belt today, so that was awesome. Good hike in 4 hours. That's really awesome. I'm very happy with those numbers. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get set up, and we'll have some dinner.
The tarp was not too hard to get put up and pitched. It's not like a perfect pitch, but I think it'll do. It looks like it'll hold up in decent weather even. I'm gonna probably practice pitching it a little bit lower to the ground so that there's maybe not so much of a gap for airflow under the walls, but we'll cover that. I walked a good 150 feet away from that so that I could have a little cook spot. And I'm about to get into some dinner here, and very excited about that. Get my pot out, new Dyneema sack for my TOAKS pot. But I'm trying out tonight, I'm trying out the shepherd's pie from Heather's Choice. So very excited. Hear good things, and I'm very hungry. So let's get some water boiling and get this guy cooking. It is getting dark. It is gorgeous out here, though. It's so still. I've been hearing squirrels here and there, but other than that, it has been just absolutely quiet. I think I can see a little light across the lake. So I think that's where there's a campground over there. Boar something campground. I'll have to look it up later, but anyways, I have just been waiting for my food to rehydrate. The shepherd's pie is cooking. It takes 20 minutes. It's like the worst part about these dehydrated meals. It's how long it takes for them to rehydrate when you're super hungry. So I went ahead and took that time to throw on some more clothes because it's getting colder. Got my puffy on, and I went and pre-hung my bear line so that I can real quick snap everything to that when I'm done eating and get it all hung up real easy before I go to bed. Looks like I've got about 3 minutes left on my food here, so I'm gonna wait patiently, and I'll chow down as soon as it's ready to go. All right, 20 minutes is up, and the shepherd's pie is ready to eat. It smells really good. I'm excited to dive in here. Yeah, that's gonna do me. All right, well, I'm gonna chow through this. It looks a lot brighter right now than it actually is. It's getting very, very dark right now, so I'm gonna chow through this, get all my stuff, my food hung up, and then go hit the hay. Have a good night. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. Hello. Oh, it got cold. It's not as cold as I thought it was gonna be. I just checked and it was only about 38 degrees right now. So I was thinking it was gonna be around 30 by the time I woke up, so I'm very glad for that extra 8 degrees, as it is chilly. I'm going to go ahead and run really quick to my food bag and bring everything back over here and cook some coffee from the safety of my quilt here, and I will kind of pack up and head out after that. But I just want to get some coffee in me. I'm wearing like all of my layers
the quilt did well. I mean, I am warm. I slept fairly warm, but I am also wearing all my base layers and my puffy jacket and my windbreaker over that, and I've got my down booties on my feet, which kept my feet nice and toasty warm all night. But yeah, another successful night in the woods. All right, I'm gonna go and brave this cold for hopefully only like 30 seconds. It's gonna be more than that, but I've got to go get that coffee. Wish me luck. I went and grabbed my food bag. I've got about another, at least I think 11, maybe 11 and a half miles to do to finish the lake loop and get back to the southern DD trailhead. So I'm not really planning to spend a whole lot of time here this morning, but a hot cup of coffee I think is a must when you wake up below 40 degrees outside. And I'm just gonna do that right here. And then I'm just gonna kind of pack up. I got a new 300 milliliter titanium cup here. I don't even need to break out the bigger pot to cook the coffee on. This will be just fine. Alright, I'll check in with you in a little bit. Coffee is ready. Oh my gosh, I can feel the warmth running through my body. Love that. That's gonna get me up and going, no problem. I guess before I pack up, I will go ahead and show you guys the new gear I was talking about. Yesterday I mentioned the pack and my new fanny pack by Red Paw Packs. And I gotta say that 3FUL gear pack, it did exactly the trick that it needed to yesterday for being lightweight and comfortable and helping me knock out these miles. The 3FUL gear pack is awesome. I can't wait to get that thing out on just some day hikes and stuff because it's just a great performer, and it's nice to have a fully waterproof pack to have like my electronics and stuff in. Now you see I'm in a different tarp here, and I kind of showed you guys the setup of the tarp, but this is a tarp by Rixie, I believe is how you pronounce it. But yeah, just set up with a couple trekking poles and plenty of room under here for me and all my gear. I've just got everything kind of staged around me right now. It's a big old mess. Yeah, plenty of coverage, and yeah, it did great. It's so lightweight. I think it's like total with guy lines and stakes about 12 ounces or something like that. It's kind of ridiculous. Ridiculously awesome. On top of that, I've got this new cheap inflatable mat here that I slept on last night instead of the Thermarest Trail Scout, which is my self-inflating mat, which weighs about twice as much. Now I will say that Trail Scout I think has a little bit better R value and would have been a little bit warmer last night, but this thing held up fine. And I had underneath that my Gossamer Gear 1/8 inch foam pad, and then I've got the same REI Half Dome 1 Plus footprint that I like to use underneath everything, and I'll probably just continue doing that. I know that they make those polycro footprints, but they just don't hold up. and I think this thing will last me forever if I take care of it. So yeah, I'm in that now. Oh, and I got a new pillow. Got the Sea to Summit Eros Ultralight. This is the regular size, and it also held up great. I had started the night with my Buff wrapped around it like a pillowcase because I like the face feel, but nothing on my face was touching that pillow because I was so bundled up. So I ended up using the Buff around my neck and over my face, and that was very necessary for breathing all this cold air last night. I just had my face tucked in like this, and you can breathe through this because it's a synthetic material, and it just kind of wicks that moisture away. Really helps to also kind of help with when I'm pulling my bag. When I'm pulling my bag over my head, my quilt over my head, I'm not breathing all that moisture directly into my quilt. It's going into this for the most part, and this thing does a really good job of dissipating that moisture. Heyo. I don't know if you heard that, but continually reminded that it's hunting season. I think it's black powder season. Granted, that was like 4 shots success, like in a row. So unless there's 4 guys lined up next to each other, I think we just found the world's fastest black powder reloader. Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty much it for gear. I got some new Dyneema sacks. I got that pot sack. I've got a Dyneema ditty bag that I moved all my bathroom gear and some of my other electronic items, like my flex tail pump that I got for the inflatable pad. Yeah, I'm gonna finish up this coffee here and get packed up and get back on trail. All right, I'm pretty well packed up, just moving around. I got hot and had to take my puffy jacket off, so that's good. I'll probably end up taking this little hoodie off and going back to my just hiking top that I had yesterday after I get moving. But I'm gonna go ahead and filter that water that I picked up yesterday. I never got around to doing that because I didn't have to, but I'll just do a little gravity feed through the Sawyer. I didn't mention this, but I did sleep last night with my Sawyer filter in my pocket, and that's just to keep it from freezing overnight. I know it didn't end up dropping to freezing, but if those filters freeze, then those membranes can be damaged and they're no longer filtering your water properly. So make sure you keep your filters from freezing. So I'm gonna go ahead, like I said, filter up the rest of this water, and I need to get moving because it's 8 o'clock. So let's do this. Back down at the lake. So we're going across that way. Walk all this shoreline before we get there. Definitely took my time getting ready. No surprise there. I am notorious for being slutterized at camp. I just like being in camp. I don't know. I like being in cold weather, but being bundled up. It's a great feeling for me. I am back on trail. Got my puffy packed back in my bag. I was starting to get a little hot in that actually, but it's definitely not warm by any means. I think it's still in the upper 30s. I think it's just because I'm moving around. I've got base layers on and stuff. So anyways, looks like around 11 miles hiking yet. Who knows? Based off of my calculations yesterday, maybe 12, maybe 13. I've got all day.
I'm not super worried about it. I've got plenty of food. And yeah, I'm just enjoying myself. So, I'm gonna keep on walking here, get that warmth built up, and I'll check in with you a little bit later. Well, there goes that pier that I was looking forward to getting some shots of off the end, but they've got it gated and locked up. I can see that some people have peeled that fence back so they can crawl through, but we're not going to do that because we like to follow the rules in the forest. We're all there to help everything keep moving smoothly, have everything stay here for us to use in the future and for our next generations. So we're gonna keep on trail. From what it looks like, this little bit right here is going a little faster, so I should be at that other campground pretty shortly. And I think after that campground there's really not a lot going on until I hit that southern edge of the lake again and head back south towards the truck and the trailhead. But let's keep doing it. Oh man, look at this. I love it. Oh, it's gorgeous. I actually just but saw Dad and his son out, and they had spent the night out on Johnson Mountain as well. Very, very cool. Love to see it. They're gonna do a little fishing this morning before they head back, but I think they're parked on the lake, so they don't have quite the walk that I'm gonna be rolling into. I will say I think I'm gonna bring my my telescoping fishing pole out next time because I don't know, it would just be fun. Maybe give myself a little bit more time out here. And yeah, I could definitely do for some fishing. Even bring like my titanium pan or something instead of my normal cook pot and see if I can't catch something and cook it up. But all right, I'm gonna keep on walking. Let's do this. So this is the part where navigating the cold starts to get a little tricky. I've been hiking for about an hour now, and I can feel I'm starting to sweat. So I need to cool down so that I don't sweat so much and end up freezing myself out. It's 34.5 degrees right now, according to my thermometer. So getting wet right now is not ideal. So I'm gonna go ahead. I think I'm coming up on this campground, so I'm just gonna set my pack down up there and take off this hoodie. I've already taken my gloves off, and probably swap back out to my ball cap. I think part of what's going on is I just finished eating some breakfast bars, and that's gonna really get that metabolism going again and start heating my internal temp up. So yeah, I'm gonna try and be a little proactive about that, and like I said, just lose a layer. I've still got my top base layer plus my hiking shirt on underneath this, so I won't be too frozen. I've been walking on this gravel road here for about a quarter mile. Just spotted a camper trailer up here. I think I'm coming up on that campground now. Yeah, there's a little building. Cool. Maybe I can get some water here. My filter is not filtering. We'll see. There we are. Chapel Hill. Let's take a look. Trail's this way, so I'm just gonna go ahead and stop at the bench up here. I'm gonna leave the buff on for now because it does feel nice keeping my neck warm. But this is a little campground. There's a little park back here, some bathrooms, some sites. I don't know if this is like a camping area. I know that they're up the road a bit actually is a spot for camping. These look more like park sites. I would imagine this is just for day use. Still a really nice area. They've got like a swim area that's kind of roped off here. Keep you protected from the boaters when they're out on the water, I'm assuming. But yeah, gonna keep on moving. It almost looks like a general store over there, but I highly doubt that that's open. So I am gonna look and see if there's any water flowing, see if I can't fill up my other 2 bottles without having to try and squeeze everything through that filter, because it is not flowing hardly any. I was able to get enough through to top off my 700 milliliter bottle, but you know, that's only gonna last so long today. So we'll see. Well, there was a restroom that was open, although it looks like it was forced open. Definitely no running water, which is fine. We're not in any danger today. I've got plenty of water and I can still get water through the filter. It's just gonna be annoying pushing it through instead of having that gravity flow to fill these bottles up. But we're moving on from that campground. I'm actually about to pull this buff up over my ears, but I've got to get back on trail, starting with a little bit of a creek crossing that I'm thinking I should be able to stay dry on. All right, here we go. Looks goofy, but it keeps you warm. 14.1 miles, which is good. A little over an hour means I'm rocking still that like 3 mile an hour pace. So I'm happy with that. Basically across the lake. I camped just up that ridge line back there, across the lake there on that shore. And I just checked the GPS and it looks like I've got one more decent little like inlet bend to go around on the lake, and then after that it's just a little bit of some squirrely trail until I get back to that southern edge, and then it's just the I think it was about 4 miles out. So we're making really good time, actually. The elevation is just not bad at all, especially compared to doing Tom Sock or Bell Mountain, which I love Bell Mountain, but that initial climb in from the southern trailhead can be a beast. I decided I'm not going to have a major climb. I'll do some decent miles instead, because I think that Bell Mountain trip is only about 9 miles total versus this being an estimated 20 or so, 22. We'll see for sure when I'm done, but I'm gonna go ahead and when I do finish this up, I'll upload this track to All Trails, and I'll just make sure to point out that my little spur up Johnson Mountain wasn't all the way to the top, but only to a viable campsite up from the lake. So that being said, it was not a established campsite,
So I'm not gonna actually mark the campsite itself. You'll just know because I turned around there. I haven't seen a ton of established campsites at all, and I'm really not sure if the ones that I have seen are even legal, because from what I understand, you're not supposed to camp by the water, but there's been fire rings and stuff that I've found near the water. Some of them very obviously are just kind of thrown together. I would imagine those are illegal, but the first one on that little peninsula that I stepped out on looks pretty established. And you would think that Forest Service would have gotten rid of that if that was not an okay thing to do. But not only was it established, it was preloaded with a bunch of firewood, which is what had me really thinking I might want to stay there. But I had opted to knock the miles out, which I'm happy for, because that was a good 5 miles that I would have had to tack on to today. That probably would not have ended well getting home on time for Nicole. So, good decisions were made. We didn't need a fire anyways. That's why we always make sure we bring enough insulation for the night without any additional heat. So, yeah. Whew, I'm actually heating up again. Oh man, keeping a good pace. Let's do it. God, this lake is beautiful. Looks like I made it to the Council Bluff boat ramp. What I didn't realize is there's campsites here too, with picnic benches and fire rings and everything. I'm wondering if you've got to pay to camp here or if these are free sites. They look pretty maintained, so you probably have to pay to camp here. But this might be a cool little spot to do a shorter trip, kind of like what I was thinking on the other side on the way in when I saw that peninsula spot. If you were going to just do like 5 or 6 miles in and out rather than doing full loop, because this is only going to be another mile maybe, if that, from that southern point where I split off to head east up the lake. This would have just been the west direction. And it's a nice little spot. Nice little spot indeed. I'm gonna go over here and check the information board and see what I can't figure out. We're here. We're gonna be coming down this little section here and then heading back down south to the DD trailhead here. So when I came in, I made an eastern turn and went over here, and it was actually, I think, around here that I had seen that first campsite. But yeah, we've just got a straight shot down now, so it shouldn't be too long. We did, let me get back over here. We did here, all the way up and around this whole section, all the way to here yesterday. And then starting this morning, I came back down, did this whole section, and I'm right back here now. So not too much farther to go. It does look like there is a fee for using the campground here. But it also says that they honor the America the Beautiful passes. And I don't know if you guys know this, but if you're a veteran, you have access to national parks and forests for free
And that's something that's happened over the last couple of years. Assume these restrooms closed. No, it's just a pit toilet. There's no teepee. I don't have to go. I was just checking to see if there was water. But, all right, let's keep on keeping on. I think I see a trail marker over this way. This is the little boat ramp area. Wild Boar Hollow Boat Launch. That's the boar part that I was remembering. Wild Boar Hollow. I'll have to do some research because I would like to stay at this campground, but I would like to hike in, not drive in. Just some signage for rules for fishermen. Boat ramp. And our trail starts back up over here. Here we are. Oh, let's do this. Just coming up the southern end of this. It looks like there's a trail here. And this is trail to campground. So I wonder what that campground is. I'll have to figure that out. We're continuing this way. I'm glad I checked because I almost turned on that until I saw the trail at the campground. And I know I didn't pass any campgrounds. I think that right there is the little peninsula that I checked out. Way back there, you can't really see it, is that pier that was locked up and blocked off. We're headed south now. This is the last little southward turn, and it's a cute little spot to hang out. We're headed this way. We're gonna go all the way to the end here, and that's where we're breaking off and continuing south. All right, we're getting to be at the southern end of the lake here. You can see trails kind of heading into the forest. It's a real shallow part of the lake shore, so I imagine the water probably gets up pretty close to the trail when it's high. But we should be seeing that bridge, that three-way intersection here shortly. And here we are. So here's the bridge that I crossed on the start of the lake loop. We've got a half-mile connector to get back to the OT. Head south on the Trace Creek section towards the Middle Fork. All right, making good time. We're back at the little connector here. So if I was gonna be heading the other direction on the OT, I'd be going that way. For me, actually, I'm heading south, going this way. I basically jogged most of that half mile, feeling pretty good. And this cool air is really nice. It's warmed up just a little bit, so it's not uncomfortable. And having that cool air on me while I'm jogging has been awesome. Started to get a little overheated, so I'm gonna keep it at a brisk walk for now. I'm remembering some uphill switchbacks that I'm gonna have to be doing here in a little bit, so I suppose I'll save a little bit of energy for that, but not too much farther now. Looks like we might have just a little bit under 3 miles to go. I think I'm like
at 18.6 or something right now. But yeah, just been singing and hiking and having a grand old time. It's still around 35. It's been cloudy this whole time, and it's been threatening to rain or snow. I feel like I keep seeing little snow flurries here and there, but just the activity, you know, it's just keeping me nice and warm. I still have my base layers on underneath the pants and shirt, so I'm honestly a little extra warm, but it's all working out really well right now. Not warm enough to take the buff off just yet still, but man, this has been awesome. Like I said before, this is the lightest I've ever gotten in my pack, and I gotta say, it's just made such a difference. And the way these frameless packs are made with like the load lifters and stuff, like it forms right up against your body. I don't have anything rigid in my pack, so it just like conforms right to me. So even the spot where my back is against my foam pad for some structure, while that is a little sweaty and damp, it's so like compressed down, and I have my whole down quilt in my pack. My back's just really warm, even though it is wet. If I get air on it, it gets cold, but it warms right back up as soon as I kind of seal that back off, which is kind of nice. You know, I don't know how that's gonna roll with summer backpacking, because I imagine that's gonna get really sweaty, but I'll at least have a little bit less weight because I won't be bringing this 20-degree quilt out. I've got my 40-degree quilt, which weighs about a pound, if that. I don't know. I think it weighed in at like 15 something ounces. Yeah, a little bit lighter of a setup. And I am planning on eventually saving up and buying a new ultralight insulated pad. So that'll lighten up my inflatable pad just a little bit as well. Take that base weight down just another notch. I did a little test with all the lightest stuff that I have right now, and base weight loadout would have been about 8.4 pounds, which is awesome. But I can go lighter, and that means when I put the heavier versions, the colder versions of things in here, my base weight actually only came up to about 12 pounds, which is why I was able to keep it down to 20 for the full loadout. And honestly, once again, I brought way too much food. I only had the one dehydrated meal, but I always bring a ton of bars and stuff, which, whatever. I'm not gonna complain. It's probably an extra pound. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. This is a kind of a cool view here. Love it. I said your left, right on, L-E-F-T, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, who lives in a pineapple under the sea? SpongeBob SquarePants, absorbent and yellow and porous is he. SpongeBob SquarePants. I'm a steamroller, baby, just a-rolling down the line. I'm a steamroller, baby, just a-rolling down the line. So you better get out of my way now before I roll right over you. Tiny bubbles in my drink makes me happy. And we are back at the Trace Creek intersection here. Trace Creek going that way, Middle Fork continuing this way, rather beginning this way, I think, because I've been on Trace Creek. So we're gonna keep on heading south. It's about 11:30, and I can see the trailhead. I see vehicles up here. I see a couple. I'm wondering if I made it back before those other guys went south. I'm assuming they'd be long gone by now. They were only doing about 5 or 6 miles, but they probably also had a lot of extra comforts to help them maybe stay in at camp a little bit. For me, if I was out with some friends, I'd probably take my time as well. A morning fire. You could cook up some breakfast. It's cold enough you could backpack out with some eggs or something. Wouldn't be a problem. What a great hike. I didn't see this little information board. I wonder if this is just to tell us about the Middle Fork section. Yep, Middle Fork John Roth Memorial section. Right on. And we are going this way. Hello, truck. Yeah, those guys are definitely still here. All right, guys. I'm back at the truck. I'm getting all my stuff loaded back in. And we are going to head on home. Thanks for coming along on my hike here. Doing Council Bluff Lake, a little bit of Johnson Mountain, a little bit of the Middle Fork section and Trace Creek sections. So it was a great hike. I'm so happy to have found this hike, and it's gonna lead to definitely more hikes. I've definitely got some stuff in mind where I want to bring friends out, maybe do some shorter bits of this, but it was great. It was an awesome time, and yeah, I just appreciate everybody watching this video. Please give me a like if you did enjoy it. Go ahead and subscribe if you want to see some more. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Happy hiking.